Hi guys, in this video I'm gonna answer your muscle up questions. We're gonna go through the muscle up transition. We're gonna go through the muscle up bar path, how to have an efficient bar path to make the muscle up much easier. And we're also gonna go through how to work on your explosiveness for the muscle up. So let's get into the video. First of all, I just want to thank Marcel for buying me a coffee. Thank you so much, Marcel. I really appreciate you. And if you also want to support me in a small way, you can always buy me a coffee. I leave a link to my buy me a coffee page in the description below. And thank you so much for all your support. All right, so let's get into the questions. How to increase weighted pull-ups efficiently so that we can pull explosively? Okay, so I will expand on that question because the muscle up is, it's very simple. I want to differentiate between easy and simple because it's not easy. The muscle up takes time to learn and it can be frustrating and all of that. But once you get understand the simplicity of the technique, the muscle up becomes very simple. So let's go through that because it's not all about the explosiveness. And I want to show you what I mean. So for me, there are 3 steps to learn the muscle up basically. First, you're practicing with resistance bands. And I'm going to show you guys a survey that I did. So I posted this about 7 days ago. And I asked you guys where you are in your muscle up journey. And most of you are still working with resistance bands, or you have a keeping bodyweight muscle up. So these tips are going to be perfect for you. You guys that already have a clean bodyweight muscle up or can do weighted muscle up, this isn't so much for you. Maybe you can take something out of this, but mostly this is for you guys that's working with resistance bands or want to clean up your keeping muscle up. You're working with your resistance band, and there are only 2 things that you have to worry about to get your, to get stronger in your muscle up and to understand the technique for the muscle up. And that is, first of all, to be able to pull yourself to under the chest or somewhere between under the chest and over the belly button. If you can pull that high, it's perfect. The second thing is the transition. How do you get over the bar once you reach this height? So you're pulling yourself. Let's see here. Once you reach here, you're pulling yourself over the bar like a straight bar row. So you have to practice 2 movements. You have to increase your weighted pull-ups and your weighted rows. If you're very strong in these 2 movements, the muscle up is very easy or simple, something like that. All right, so I'm going to show you how I train for the muscle up. So I would recommend just training your resistance band half muscle up like this. Doesn't really matter what band you are on. If you're on the green band, just do 5 repetitions of for 3 sets or something like that, just to get the technique down. So you're pulling up and rowing yourself over the bar. Sometimes I say you're throwing your chest over the bar, but you can also row yourself over the bar. Okay, as simple as that. And so let's say you're practicing your resistance band muscle ups, but you're not making so much progress. You should also add in your weighted pull-ups. Or these days I'm mainly doing lat pull downs, but using the muscle up technique. So that means I'm using the same width as I'm doing my muscle ups, like a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. I'm pulling with my elbows facing forward and pulling as explosively as I can do with this weight. And I'm doing around 5 to 10 repetitions. I would like to go a little bit heavier, but this is all they have right now. Once I get back to Sweden, I can use a little bit, heavier weight. So around 3 to 5 repetitions is for me the perfect amount to really work on your explosiveness. So this will take care of that. The next thing I'm doing is my straight bar rows. So this is actually the transition. If you work yourself up to really heavy weighted rows, you're just rowing yourself over the transition, so to speak. And I would recommend doing around 5 to 8 repetitions and really trying to get that bar, touching under your chest and pulling as explosively as you can. So doing these two movements, weighted pull-ups and rows, will really help your muscle up if you are using the correct muscle up technique as I'm teaching it. There are a lot of different techniques, but the way that I teach it. So let's put this together and watch the muscle up once again. So imagine a lat pull down. Imagine you're very strong in your weighted pull-ups. So just a weighted pull-ups and then a row. You're rowing yourself over the bar. And that is it, guys. So if you're practicing your banded muscle ups, your weighted pull-ups, and weighted rows, doing straight bar weighted rows, you will get over the bar in no time. And by answering this question, I also answered this question. And the second question is simply put, transition. So I guess you want some good tips on how to make the transition very easy. No problem, here it is. Because once you get the technique down of rowing yourself over the bar and practicing your rows, your straight bar rows, the transition will become very easy for you as well. And then eventually you will work yourself down band by band, and you will find yourself doing clean bodyweight muscle ups, not using the legs for any momentum. They're just relaxed, and you're just pulling yourself over the bar or rowing yourself over the bar. And this is not a question, but a comment. I'm still learning my bar path. So let's go through what he means by bar path. If you have an efficient bar path, your muscle up is basically going to be easier. So I would say this bar path is kind of good. So what I mean by that is I'm not too far away from the bar. You can see I have elbow flexion, so I'm bending my elbows. So I'm not too close to the bar, that will get me stuck. And if you're too far away from the bar path isn't efficient. So you want to be somewhere in between. And the cue for having a good bar path is basically you just want to bend your elbows like you're doing a pull-up, but you don't want to be too close to the bar. You're pulling with your elbows facing forward. So this will create a good bar path. You will pull kind of close to the bar. And then that will make the transition very easy. So I hope you got some good technique tips out of this video, guys. If you have any more questions about the muscle up, just leave me a question in the comments below and I will answer it the next video. Take care, guys, and I see you soon.